Hello, friends. Thank you very much for joining in for today's session. Like always, we are back with our career conversation wherein we are getting asked or students who have already cleared the exam, FRM level 1 or level 2 exam, and we are having a conversation with them, trying to understand what all problems they felt while preparing, what was the key point of their success, and key quick tips that they could give to the new students who are going to appear for the exam in the near future. So with that intention, we have started out with this session, and today we have with us Mr. Jeevan Dakate, and he has been a student. He has cleared both FRM level 1 and level 2. So, hello Jeevan, how are you doing?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Great, great, great. So, first of all, thank you very much for being a part of this conversation and sharing your knowledge and experience regarding the exam to the audience. And so, basically, for the benefit of the audience, I'm just going to give a quick introduction about Mr. Jeevan. So he has been working in bank in the internal audit team for around 15 years now, and he has a good experience of working in a retail bank, understanding their problems, key issue areas, control failures, and all. And apart from that, he started out with FRM. He cleared both FRM level 1 and level 2, right? So Jeevan, I'll start out with a series of questions which would help the audience to understand your journey regarding FRM exam. So the first question is, before FRM, okay, can you give us your journey with respect to from your college days and where exactly you started and till the FRM exam?
Okay, so I did management graduation in 2003, and my journey was in business earlier. I joined in 2016. So So I started my management journey from 2003. I passed out in 2003, and since then I was in business. So little correction that it's been business experience till 2016, and in
Okay.
2016 I joined internal audit. So
Acha.
audit was new to me, and I was learning even then. And FRM to understand the nuances of risk and enriched my understanding of risk, and that's how it helped me. So
Okay. Okay.
that's what how it is. And
Okay. So primarily, was there any particular trigger point that you saw in your company or in your career that led you to go for FRM?
yeah, so when I joined internal audit, I interacted with my colleagues, and there were few programs that were recognized internally in my organization. So FRM was one of the top ones. So
Acha.
I said, let me go for it. Choosing FRM was dual perspective, because I was with internal audit, and risk is a core part of the audit, but it also opens my doors for risk uh, experience.
Right.
So that was the reason I went for FRM first, and help me.
Okay. So primarily, so that you can basically diversify also. So if you were doing internal audit, you could diversify also into risk in future if there is any opportunity. So from
Yes,
that
yes.
perspective, you did it. Okay, great, great. And so so like you said, there was a gap of your education from I think so 2003 till the time you gave the exam. So when you started out with FRM, so was there any problem or issue that you faced with respect to preparation to start out preparation because you were going after such a huge gap?
Yeah, so yes, of course. Initially, there was a little bit of confusion whether I would be able to clear the exam. Understanding of the subjects was not an issue, but appearing for exam and qualifying the exam is a challenge in itself.
Right.
Understanding is a different thing altogether. But the kind of coaching that we had with Fin Intelligence, that gave me confidence.
Okay. Okay. Good. So wonderful. I mean, so primarily. uh, there was some issue, but that you were able to resolve. So the point I'm raising over here is that people who are going for exam after a gap of their education need not worry. Obviously, it will take some time, some effort from your end also with respect to preparation, but definitely that road will be will be able to clear that road also. That should not be a problem. So coming to the FRM level 1 piece, so sir, from the exam perspective, was there any particular topic, or was there any particular uh, key pointers which you felt difficult initially, and was there any key strong areas that you felt?
Yeah, so for me, mathematics and quants and stats has always been my forte. So I did not face any challenge in the quants. I always face challenge in the theory part where one has to memorize few things.
Right.
So wherever the logic applies, I'm good to go always. But wherever there is a theory which needs to be memorized point wise, there I face challenges. And for that, I used certain tricks. Like I used flashcards. So whatever I had to memorize or which was the theoretical part, I put it on a flashcards and I used to revise those flashcards regularly.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. I mean, not many students who go for that technique, but definitely this technique helped you. So that definitely is a wonderful point. And from the exam perspective, so see, you were also working at that point in time, right? So what was the time commitment that was required?
Yes.
What was the time commitment that you gave, and what you felt that should be normally given to the exam?
So time commitment is not a challenge if somebody is in a full-time student.
Okay.
For a working professional, it may be a challenge, but it can be managed. So during travel, I used to listen to YouTube videos on various topics, so that gives reinforces the understanding. Then flashcards I used to see. I used to read ebooks which come for FRM curriculum.
Right.
Uh, Daily, I used to study for half an hour or 1 hour.
Okay. Okay.
Only in weekends I could study. And during the classes and post classes, maybe 1 hour.
Okay. So majorly 1.5 hour on a weekday basis, and also on a weekend basis, you were giving out, say, plus classroom time plus your own preparation of 1 2 hours extra. So that was sufficient enough for you to clear the exam. Is the understanding correct?
Yes.
Okay. And
Yeah, absolutely correct.
when you're going for FRM level 2, okay, so within that, so you immediately went for the exam after your completion of level 1, right?
Yes.
Okay, so from that perspective, uh, was there any difficulty in some topics that you faced in FRM level 2 based on your experience?
Yeah, level two, level two is more specialized.
Hmm?
So some topics like market risk is new to me. I have never been into market risk.
Right,
Credit risk, ops risk, I understood well. Though ops risk was voluminous,
right,
the large in FRM2 for ops risk,
right,
but it was okay. Uh, Market risk was a little difficult for me. Even today it is difficult, I can say, because I have never worked in that area.
right. But apart from market risk, what about the other books, operation risk, credit risk? So you were able to get the gist of that book itself. There was no problem in that, right?
No, no, absolutely no.
So primarily market risk was a key area where you actually focused and gave out a lot of time for your preparation because you realized initially itself that it could be a problem.
No, time, I had to give time to credit risk also, ops risk also,
Okay.
because is huge there. I gave time to current affairs also because understanding it completely, all the case studies in current affairs was a challenge because it used to be confusing actually. So I listened to a lot of YouTube videos on those topics, which were in news or by put by other tutors freely. So I looked at those videos for
Okay.
current affairs.
And with respect to the FRM level 2, so when you're going for the exam, So what was that 4 hours? Can you help us with that 4 hours of your journey? So uh, what was the question type? How many questions you were able to solve? Any idea on that front?
Okay, so so yeah, I could. I think I attempted 80% of the questions properly. 20% I had to rush in at the last moment.
Acha.
So I knew the tricks of appearing for MCQ kind of exams, because I had appeared for CAT and other MBA entrance exams.
Right.
So I feeling, so I had not forgotten the tricks and the way the MCQ kind of exams are given,
Right.
and there was no negative marking in FRM,
Yeah.
so that helped, unlike CAT. So I appeared for 80% of the questions. I appeared well with proper confidence, and 20% I suppose I had to rush in with a little bit of choices.
Right. And coming to the FRM, post FRM completion, okay. So was there any change in the way people are looking at you, or the way market is perceiving you as an internal auditor? Was there any direct or indirect benefit in your career from that FRM certification?
Of course, there is benefit. So, firstly, apart from the career one, my confidence level increased
Okay.
in the social media as well as internally in the organization. That one could clear FRM in one go with good, you know, this thing percentiles. So that gave me a lot of confidence. So, and secondly, I was recognized. So the
Okay.
cost of my FRM is borne by the organization. Uh, and yeah, I think that helped me. This year I have been promoted. So I think, yeah, directly or indirectly, definitely helped me. Not
Perfect.
only this, enriched my understanding of the risk part, which is for a layman to understand unless you work in that particular area.
Right.
But after FRM, it enriched my experience and understanding of risk.
So, okay, got it. So, in a very simple nutshell, that this recognition part. So basically, that it was more of an indirect benefit that you received. Okay, because a lot of students, they generally focus on getting the direct benefit in terms of salary hike, or in terms of good company, or getting into an MNC. That's their focus. But definitely, you get a lot of indirect benefit from being an FRM, because you become part of that community, which is recognized across the globe, and people know what is the difficulty level of the exam is, and if you're able to clear the exam, that means you have something, right? And I'm sure in future, when, like you said, you wanted to diversify into risk also, so when there is an opportunity over there, it might be looked at you at a favorable way with respect to those opportunities, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, so primarily, so we have gone through the entire journey, and what I would like to highlight to the audience is that it is not entirely difficult to clear this exam, and especially people who have already had a gap of education of around 10, 12, 15 years, and they still are able to clear the exam in the first attempt. So definitely, it requires your dedication. It requires proper strategy for preparation, right? And the more and more perseverance that you show for the exam, it will help you to clear the exam in an effective way. Like what Mr. Jeevan has been able to clear the exam, right? Both the levels in first attempt. So thank you very much, Jeevan, for your time, and thank you very much for sharing your experience with the audience. This will be really helpful, and we wish to see you in our future sessions also, wherein you could guide our students on one of the topics related to internal audit or something like that, right?
No, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, and thanks to you and Intelligence. But I would like to stress one thing:
Uh-huh.
if I had online classes, or I had attempted to prepare myself, I could not have committed myself to the studies and exam.
Right.
But only thing, I had a pressure of that apply going to the classes and attempting classes, that helped me to stay focused.
Right.
Second, interacting in a classes with other people gives you more understanding.
That's there.
So your classes definitely helped me and increased my confidence. Otherwise, it would have been possibly difficult at with my gap.
Thank you very much, sir, for those kind words. And let's conclude this session. So, but definitely it was great to have you on our session and sharing your experience. So thank you very much for being the part of this session, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.